No, after being arrested for Celeste's murder just through the internet in a frenzy. But before we even get into his response about murdering Celeste, we just got a deeper understanding on when David actually met Celeste. And it may have been when she was 10 years old. This has been verified by people who may have been around.
But before David was David, he used to go by the name Chronic Ant.
4 hours in the woods with Chronic Ant.
Chronic Ant was a really good Fortnite player.
Oh, wait. Hey.
When Celeste was first identified, I had came across some comments that said that they knew David, they used to play the game with him, and he used to always have his girl around. Looking back on everything now, they 100% think that was Celeste.
This sickens me, dude. I was in a zone wars with both of them, and thought the little girl in the lobby was someone's sister on the game. I always had a weird feeling about him. I didn't even know he was David.
I'm trying to find a clip of me, Celeste, and David in a call. I knew I should have said something, bro. I thought he was just being normal. We were queuing up in Fortnite with random people, then we queued up with Celeste. At first, it was normal. Like 3 months go by, and I notice it's getting weird. Like, how does he know her entire story? I'm thinking he's just being nice to this kid like a brother. It got weirder every time we would play together. Eventually, he did his own thing.
I was in a lobby while she was there, and that was only one time. I assumed it was someone's sister. Thinking of everything makes more sense now.
Do you remember anything weird about the conversation? Do you remember her username?
I don't remember her username, but there wasn't any weird vibes. We were playing Zone Wars, and she'd just make little comments like everyone while playing. But Ant would joke about SA all the time, and other weird things like severe dark humor, and everyone that's played with him can confirm.
What year and month was this, if you can remember?
January, February 2020. Or can be 2021, because it was before I stopped playing, and I stopped playing around then.
And you're sure it was her?
100%. Couldn't have been anyone else.
Yo, I'm watching the live right now, but I just want to say this because me and my friend are trying to recall everything. We were all in a Fortnite team called Chronic, which is where I met him. He met her in like 2021 through Fortnite, I'm pretty sure. And then he made her get Discord. Everyone in the team knew about her, and he would joke about it and brush it off every time it got mentioned. That's all I personally know, but my friend Pistol knows more because they talked way more. She would literally say he her, but then follow it up with a joke. So I don't know if she was being for real or not. He was also just a weirdo, to be honest. He used to send in group chats.
If everything that they allege was true, David was 15 years old and Celeste was 10.
I've never seen nobody who's obsessed with gore and sending pictures of somebody body chopped up who turned out to be a normal human being. Like, almost everybody who did that was in the gore and send pictures of blood and people dead. You gotta be somebody like Jeffrey Dahmer. When you get the opportunity to kill somebody, you will strike. I heard some people are saying that him meeting her when he was 15 and she was 10 years old is okay just because they're minors.
Huh?
A 15-year-old shouldn't be doing nothing with a 10-year-old, a 9-year-old. That's just disgusting. You're a teenager. There's no reason why you're doing anything with somebody that's not even a teen yet. And then when you go 3 years into the future, now you're 18 and she's 13 years old. Just because you met her when she was a minor doesn't make it right. I couldn't even tell you the age of that Discord user. The user could have been 13. Hopefully the user was young, because if you was around the time David was doing those things, hopefully you was young. I would hope that your mind didn't know what David was doing was wrong. That's why you was able to be in that call. And David was really out here moving like Ted Bundy. Like, you would thought he was a God-fearing Christian man the way he was texting people after Celeste's body came up missing.
So David's messages got leaked that had his thoughts when the investigation was ongoing for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And these messages were leaked by a singer named Caden Neese, who has had an online relationship with David for years. And big apologies to Caden Neese, because I did think that these DMs ended up being fake, but after some research, comes to find out they are actually real. Found out one way where you can make sure that this is actually David's account, and it's to scroll to the top in the messages, and where it says view profile, then you would click on it, and if it takes you to David's page, then you know that these DMs are legitimate. And after he reassured me this is real, he did send me that exact video that I asked for, and just watch. So after doing all of my research, running it through AI, also doing the way where you can verify this is a real message, and also his words saying that they are a real message, and seeing the messages that he had with David all the way since 2023, it seems like these DMs are accurate. But now let's get into what they actually say. So on October 15th at 10:30, he said to David, "I pray it's just all misinformation. The internet sucks." David says it really does. So much twisted and fake. He responds, I'm sorry, dude. And David said, God bless you, twin. Keep going with your music. Don't stop for nothing. And mind you, in October was literally just a month after Celeste Rivas Hernandez has been identified in the front of David's Tesla.
Yo, whoever that is writing him in his DMs is a Hall of Fame glazer. Like you're worse than a glazer. We know he was a pedo by October. There's no way you was telling this man, oh yeah, calling this man twin. Like he the little girl. Yo, if David had 40 child pictures on his phone, you gotta have at least 10. He has to have at least 10 child pictures on his phone. He's in this man comments after we know this man is already a pedo. He in his comments like, we know you innocent. Nick, stop dick rotting. He said, hey bro, if you ever need music, bro, you threw a little girl under the bus for music advice from David?
On December 18th, this Caden kid messages David and says, I know you're innocent, bro, but why can't the world know? These people are stupid. Anyways, David responded to this saying, ha ha ha, with all humility, I would phrase it as mere ignorance rather than unintelligence. Trust in God, my friend. How has your journey into faith been going? And then David proceeds to tell him different things about the Bible, recommending things about the Bible. And then Caden responds, damn, dude, thank you. And then he says, bro, of course, my goat. When people stop stalking my Instagram followers to make conspiracy theories, I gotta follow you back. And y'all remember the rumors that were going around? People swore they kept seeing him active on different social media accounts when he was basically ghost. Well, based off these Instagram messages that I got from Caden Nice, it seems like he really was active. And this message right here was very interesting because I've seen on Reddit where people were finding David's Letterboxd account where he was watching movies. And this is the account that they found on Reddit of David's Letterboxd account. And there was a lot of movies. So yeah.
I forgot to mention this in the last video. I think David was playing Fortnite a day before he got arrested. And Fortnite now put out a statement saying that any David skin that somebody bought, they're gonna now be refunding it. Fortnite already knew. Like, I feel like Fortnite is just trying to do it for the crowd, because if you knew he was a pedo already, why wait till he get arrested to now give everybody refunds? You should have been did that.
Coincides with what the messages are as well. Last time Caden Nice actually talked to David was on March 28th, and he told him happy birthday, and David responded, thank you, brother. So this is literally just a couple of weeks before he was arrested. So definitely very interesting. You can see David's mindset. You can see him actually messaging with people on Instagram while this whole thing was going down. Also gonna play a slowdown video that I made from his videos that he was sending me of these conversations. That way you guys can see how much they actually talked. This part takes a second because he was scrolling slower at the beginning. And I put it in slow-mo. That way we can see. And I already went through all of them to see if anything was weird in any of them. Like concerning Celeste, I didn't see anything. So as you can see, back in 2023 is when they really started their conversating. And it seemed like a lot about music, or when David would post on his story, he would say something about that. Until obviously this came out, and then he started, telling David he was sorry, and he believed that David is, or was innocent, is what he believed. I think now he might have a different viewpoint.
Seeing messages like that, I could really understand why David was partying all the way up until he was even arrested. People looked at him as a god. So if they looked at him as a god, they was willing to party with him knowing that he was a pedo and he killed the little girl. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Should we have mercy on the person texting David, or should we just excuse him because he probably don't know any better? I won't. You feel me? Burn him at the stake with David. Like I said, if David got 40 child pictures on his phone, that nigga got at least 10. He got to. But I appreciate y'all for sticking in this long. I love y'all. Blah.